Hey everyone. Today I'm talking about AI, which is a bit of a mystery. It's coming up really quickly, and in every recent semester, when I start to talk about I then realize that what I thought I knew was way behind what was actually happening in the real world, which you are already experiencing in your classes and sometimes experimenting on your own. This fall, for instance, some of you have only used ChatGPT and nothing else. Others of you have used many different AIs, including ones that I haven't heard of. And some of you have done none of it. So everyone's got a different level of experience with this, and that's including professors and including employers. I mean, it's all over the place right now. AI is upending the way designers work. I lived through a similar situation back in the 90s. We used to paste up bits of paper, text, onto a paper sheet, which was a layout. And then we would resize the photos using a giant magnifying machine, which you would actually walk into. There'd be a gigantic lens and the light would shine through and rah, rah, rah. And then rub on wax headline text onto the layout, then send it to the printer for approve. They would send it back for us to check, and then they would burn metal plates, and then they would print it, which you may have heard about in your production classes. Lots of things could go wrong, and it was often along the way something, mistakes would have to be fixed. You have to go through the whole thing again. There was lots of people involved. And these days, most of those people don't have their jobs anymore because of the way digital technology and digital printing have just taken over everything, and then just not even bothering with the printing and just going straight to digital. So when digital layout, illustration, and image software came along, because this was from a computer, and computers were a lot more primitive back then, the fear for designers was that everything would look exactly the same. And in the beginning it did. It was awful. The people that invested early in the computer software came up with all these really boring designs, very repetitive designs, very similar designs. As the software improved and designers got more comfortable with computers and more adventurous, the designs and illustrations and photographic imagery manipulation, it just got better, got better and more clever and stylish. What we're facing now with AI is another such revolution. This time it's much bigger. It will allow designers a much bigger universe to play in, and honestly, it will allow everyone else to play in that universe as well. The universe is made up of all the designs, writing, and music that has ever been uploaded to the internet. Now you realize this is not everything that's ever been done by human beings, only the stuff that's been uploaded to the internet, which is a lot, but it's not everything. So for our designs using AI, this makes for a certain old-fashioned look and sound to everything. You may know that lots of writers and artists are suing the big tech companies for copyright infringement. Sarah Silverman is a comedian, and she's kind of leading the charge on this for comedy writers, because they just take her stuff and they grind it up and they mix it with other people's stuff, and she doesn't get paid for any of it. So far as I know, a lot of these creators are not getting paid for their AI taking their stuff, which includes CUNY professors in some situations, or training the AI on it, like teaching the AI how to write or how to come up with, unique ideas, which honestly, they're not unique. However, so the basis of all these creations is from stuff that humans have done already. What we get often is AI creations based on out of copyright work. So that tends to mean old stuff, and I've noticed this mostly in Firefly. Adobe, because Adobe is guaranteeing that you're not going to get sued by any existing artists or writers or musicians, because all of their stuff that they're basing it on is stuff that is already out of copyright. So that's why the writing can be very formal. I've read a lot of AI cover letters now, and don't get me wrong, use the AI for your cover letters, but they all sound very similar. They tend to overload things with lots of adjectives, creative and inspired and all this stuff, which is good. But so many of them just sounds bizarre and weird and also very similar. But it also kind of sounds like the 1970s. So you have your own tools and your own skills in your personal toolbox. You know what contemporary design and fonts and music should feel like. As young people, you are living in this world. You are not dictated to by the AI. You have your own universe to play in. When you get AI to do something for you, you need to focus on 2025. What does this piece feel like today? Does it feel old? Does it feel like 2025? Is it missing anything? And if it doesn't, what do I need to do to make it feel like now and not a bunch of old stuff? So we have an assignment. And the assignment is to create a simple AI project for your portfolio. Some of you are already doing this, so you don't have to start a second one. For those of you who haven't started, begin to think about what that might be, and we can discuss it in our meeting. So you don't have to charge ahead. You can start if you want, but you can wait till we chat, either this week or next week, because we got the rest of the semester, and talk about what kind of project you might want to do. You know, a social media campaign, AI magazine, whatever you want. But one way of approaching it is, what can I do to add to an existing project that I already have in my portfolio? What's an AI adjunct to that? And you can make the AI be part of that campaign and have the look and feel of that campaign, but just save you a bunch of work. Because that's what AI ultimately should be able to do, is save you work. We will talk about this. But when you're doing this project, you're going to document it. And you're going to say, this is what I'm setting out to do. This is what I've asked the AI to do. This is what came out. This is what I changed. This is what I made, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, you guys are used to these kind of presentations. You don't have to tell them the story of your life. You just want to say, this is how I use AI. So you're showing this to an employer, and they will say, oh, she knows how to use AI because I can read about how she used it, and this is what came out of it. Just relying on what the AI spouts out, unless it's amazing, and most of it is not, everyone can do that. Non-designers can do that. You want to add your own design aesthetic to this project, and it's tricky. And if you don't know anything about AI, now's the time to find out. And if you do know something about AI, now's the time to further your knowledge of it. Now, AI is very strange. And AI can create a person who can talk to you. They can create these weird, sort of digital, weird-looking cartoons who will talk to you. You know, they will be, the personification of Siri, for instance, or whatever you want to call it. And it could get very strange. It feels like you're talking to an actual person. You can make it talk like, your favorite movie star or your favorite musician or something. But you gotta retain your sense of yourself and your sense of humanity, because AI doesn't care about you. It can't, because it doesn't have emotions. It acts like it has emotion, but the more you talk to these things, you come up against this brick wall of misunderstanding. They just don't understand. It does not understand what an emotion is and what caring is about. And for designers, if you're doing a campaign, you want somebody to care about your, drink that you're trying to sell. And AI can't do that quite. So you need to look where the emotion is missing in your project. But it's also a personal thing. If you get an AI that looks and talks like, Rihanna or something, you can end up disappearing down an AI rabbit hole where you feel like you have a friend that doesn't actually exist. It can really do your head in, and people have written articles about that. You can look it up. One AI told somebody to kill themselves. Another one told somebody to break up with their wife. This is, where is this coming from? It's coming from humans who at some point, felt miserable or didn't like their wife or something. And so the AI, who doesn't care about anything, takes that information and says, okay, this is the best thing to tell this person in this situation, which is nonsense. It really is scary and easy to fall into this situation where somebody looks and talks and acts kind of like a human being, but is not. So as you interact with AI, remember who you are, and remember that the people that really do care about you are human beings. And those are the people you need to keep in touch with, and don't let the AI do your head in. Otherwise, you just disappear into your phone and you can just get lost there. Machines, computers, AI, these are all tools. Human beings are wonderful. So we will talk about this more. Meanwhile, I'll see you at your meetings.